Hi, welcome back to Miss Kulala's Mystical Musings. So today I'm going to share a couple ghost stories with you. This is actually a VR to Julia's ghost stories. She did part 1 a year ago, which was the VR to Carrie's. I'll link both of those videos because I don't even remember Carrie's channel name. But I am subscribed to both, so I will link both of their channels in the description. So this is a VR to Julia from Highly Sensitive Tarot, her part 2 video. And I have my appropriate lighting to tell the ghost story. So back in 2013, we had just started to move things up to the farmhouse that I live in now. In fact, my bedroom is in the attic here. And the place was being renovated, so it was a slow move. We were living about 35 miles away in the city, moving to the country here. And we had moved our washer and dryer up here. So one night, it was a dark, kind of stormy night. I drove up here and brought, things to put up in the attic and, storage stuff and some laundry and, figured it was stuff that was going to be washed up and just left here until we moved in anyway. So again, it was a dark, kind of stormy night, not like majorly stormy, but I don't know. I love nights like that. So anyway, someone that had previously lived here left a rocking chair. And so I had moved that into the, it's kind of like a mudroom. And that's where the washer and dryer are now currently. So I had the rocking chair out there and there was no one else with me. And I'm just rocking and doing laundry. And, the lights were on. The kitchen light and the mudroom light. I'm just rocking, and I think I might have been reading. And all of a sudden, the lights go out. And it's pitch dark. I know it's an old farmhouse. So, yes, wiring is bad. Oops, let me relight that. But I knew the feeling was that it was something else. Because as soon as the lights went out, I felt this, like, not wind, but it was like wind. You know what I mean? It was like energy just, like, focused right at my face. And I knew that it was something like an entity. I couldn't see him, but I felt him. And it was like he was right here, like, yelling at me. Literally, the energy was like, you need to know that I'm here. And just, like screaming. And then the lights came back on. And I just was like, I was stunned. Just dumbfounded, like, what the heck was that? And in the time that it took me to just kind of like rack my brain, I wasn't even thinking ghost. I just really didn't know, It's like my mind was not processing. Boom, they go out again, and it's like a strobe light effect. And then I knew at that point, because I could feel the energy, like whatever it was like trying to come through the veil. And I got angry because there was a part of me that felt like, okay, I'm moving in here. This is my home now. I might not be totally moved in, but this is my home, and I'm not going to deal with that. So I have a ritual, I did my cleansing, and literally whatever fear I had, I turned it into courage, and I walked around the whole house and I said my piece with it and told it if it had ill intentions that it could not coexist or be here with me. It had to leave. And it felt like it worked. The next day, I come up. It's broad daylight. I come up during the day that time. I mean, it just so happened to be daylight. Anyway. And I was bringing some stuff to put upstairs in the attic. And, of course, daylight. There weren't lights in the attic at that time. But it was daylight. So, and, of course, there's a window right here. So I could see in the attic very well. And the girls' bedroom was going to be up here. So I had noticed that my middle daughter, Faith, had a box out with some stuff in it that had pictures. And she had found a picture of my dad. And she had pinned it up on the wall. And it was a copied, reprinted picture of his high school senior pictures. And my sister had blown it up. So I think it was like an 8x10. And she had it up on the wall. And I'm like, oh, that little shit. Getting into my stuff, you know, kids getting into things that they shouldn't have been getting into. And, you know, of course, this was going to be their room, so it was my bad for putting it up here with their stuff. Even though this room has like a storage area off of it, it wasn't put in there yet. So I was starting to take it down, and I heard my phone ringing downstairs. So I went downstairs to answer the phone with my dad's picture in my hand. And it was my mom. And she goes, "Are you sitting down?" "No, I don't have a place to sit right here where I'm at." She goes, "Your dad passed." And I was just like, in that instant, my brain was putting 2 and 2 together, and I knew that he was here the previous night. I knew it was him. He was just like desperate to let me know that he had passed. And we had been estranged because my father, before he passed, he was psychotic, paranoid, schizophrenic. And when we were growing up, the diagnosis was just schizophrenia, so he wasn't as unapproachable. And believe me, I know we had tried to keep interaction with him, but it was just, it got to the point where we couldn't do it. So I knew when he passed that he was desperate, that we knew, and desperate that I knew. And that was the energy that I had felt. And it's like it all made sense to me. Everything was becoming crystal clear at that moment. So, yeah, and the fact that I had his picture in my hand, I knew then, too. It was like everything was, you just know. So, yeah, and the other ghost story I was going to tell you, I'm starting to run out of time here. I had like a 10-minute window I was going to use. I think I will do it at another time. But I will leave you with this, that I do believe that ghosts or otherworldly entities, we will know them by their frequency, whether they are good or bad. And I'm not saying that my father's energy was bad, but it hadn't acclimated to being gone yet, is what I believe. I believe that he was just desperate to let his family know that he was gone. And so when I turned my frequency from fear to courage, he didn't have the same power at that time. So and I do believe that they mess with electrical fields and stuff like that. And the next story that I will have for you shortly in the next video will it's a story about that, where they come through my phone. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful Halloween, and telling these stories is fun.